So we're going to work on arm drag as a part of our low risk offense series. So we'll start with just a basic arm drag, right? So I've got my opponent's wrist, my left arm to his right arm, right? So same side, mirroring. And there's actually two different kinds of footwork for an arm drag. So this is the first one where I'm stepping with that outside foot while I'm pulling here. I'm pulling this across, and then this forearm, this cross arm is reaching for the armpit. So I'm kind of doing all three of those things at once, right? So stepping with the outside foot, reaching for the armpit, and pulling him across. And then once I get here, the second motion is I'm really going to pull hard on his tricep, on his armpit. I'm going to let go of this wrist, and I'm going to step across with my other leg. All right, so again, step one, step two. And you can see I'm really stepping into his hips and reaching for that far hip with the hand that was on the wrist, is letting go of the wrist and going for the far hip. So we're here. Now from there, I'm essentially just chasing the back, right? So here, chasing the back, and then depending on what kind of a response I get from him, maybe I take the back, or maybe he starts turning to face me. I might get into a bear hug or some sort of a body lock situation. I might do something else there, but that's our basic arm drag. Now, there's actually more than one entry to the arm drag. Just like I can arm drag when I've got his wrist, if he grabs mine, same side, I can arm drag from here too. Right, that's the same footwork. I can arm drag from there. So he grabs my wrist, pulling it across, stepping, looking for the back. He posts. This is a really common one. All right, so I'm kind of walking inside, passing this arm down and around into my arm drag. And then also the same thing, he posts, I can chop block or chop drag. And again, really important key for having a successful arm drag is I'm doing two things. I'm pulling hard. I'm trying to pull my opponent as hard as I can. I always like to say I'm trying to pull his arm off. I won't actually accomplish that, but I want to try and do it. But I'm also not just pulling him to me, I'm stepping at the same time. So I want to move towards my opponent, also pull my opponent towards me, right? Fifth place that we can get into an arm drag is from this over-under position. If I can get this hand down here, very easy to get to that arm drag. Again, over-under, he's got an underhook. Obviously, if he's keeping it high, I'm not really going to be able to get to it. But if I'm able to get inside his elbow or down to his wrist, I'm able to get to that arm drag. So that's so all of those entries are the same with both kinds of arm drag, but I'm going to show you a second arm drag where the footwork's a little different. So the first one, I'm stepping with the outside foot and then stepping in with the inside foot and attacking the hips. This one is when I got somebody who's really like leaning a lot harder, right? And from here, I'm getting this arm drag, and instead of stepping across or stepping outside and back in, I'm arm dragging here, and I'm circling around him in an attempt to get him to put his hands on the mat because he's leaning so hard. So again, he's leaning here, and I'm able to get to my arm drag, some sort of an arm drag entry, and my footwork really just looks like circling around behind. And then the last thing is, just like this arm drag can be an offense to itself, right? I can use it to take the back or to drag it to the mat. It's also a very effective setup. So if I hit an arm drag, exactly. So I'm going to be trying to take Mickey's back. He doesn't want me to take his back, so he's circling away right into my single leg, right? And so there's a lot of different ways that I can use that arm drag as not just an offense, but a setup to other offense, which we'll cover some more specifics around that in another video. But again, that arm drag is effective in and of itself, but also effective as a setup for other things.